What's up, people? Y'all know who it is, man. Y'all know it. Me and Cop being Pops, right? My fault. Y'all know we normally be on somebody's couch. We ain't on the couch today. We in at the living room at the new house, but we gonna get to all that other stuff later. Man, let's get into this episode. I got a lot to say, and ain't none of it gonna be nice.
On my mama. On my hood.
Talk to him.
I look like, oh Lord. I look good. Touch my swag.
Yes, sir.
I wish you would. On my mama.
Yeah.
On my.
Yeah.
Ayesha didn't say anything wrong. A lot of women get married and pregnant in their early 20s before they actually know themselves and before they know what they actually want to do with their lives. A lot of it is because of the societal pressures that's placed on women. You can't wait until your 30s or 40s because then you'll be too old. And in your 20s, you shouldn't be worried about a career or your education or starting a business because then you might run the risk of losing an opportunity to be somebody's wife and have somebody's baby. And that's the stupidest shit that was taught to us. Focusing on yourself, let up.
Man, I'm gonna go ahead and go off on Keita Rose sorry ass this whole episode. This is another divorced, unmarried baby mama who ain't successful with men, who ain't successful in relationships with a loud mouth. If you got a certain window that you should have babies in, right? And it's just men looking at the whole dynamic with women, right? Then I do want a woman who prioritizing that we need to have this. Here's one of the comebacks that I always ask Pop that I ask myself about women. Why is it that you can't have the kids in the marriage and then when the kids get a little older, go and chase all your dreams and goals? Is it that we got a bunch of excuses now and you too lazy to pursue them because you can go and do it? How I know is my wife. Her current job right now is her passion. It's things that she really care about. And now that my kids have gotten a little older, now these are the things that we chasing. I just want to know why you can't do both. Why was that stupid to be taught to you when you got a certain amount of time that you can have a child? You can't reproduce forever. Ma'am, at the end of the day, we're not the same and we're not equal. We're not on the same amount of time. I need for women to stop acting like it's the same. Last point is this. I do not want you after you done hit 30 and 40 and you done ran through and been through all these amount of D's and all these men. You're not a wife to me. You're not the mother of my future kids and you're not nothing that I want to look for. So you can take your 20s and focus on you all you want. There will be no marriage and there will be no men of value when you get done. And women need to understand that.
Alone, building a career while you're taking care of kids and uplifting your husband is extremely difficult and sometimes unsatisfying. And as a woman, you are not allowed to say that without faith.
Woo, I'm gonna go off. Where the fuck is it that she uplifts her husband? See, this is why I find these women to be delusional. There's no point in time that we can point to Ayesha Curry uplifting her husband, ho. Not one time. Where every time a microphone's in front of that bitch's mouth, it's disrespect. It's shitting on that man's name and his legacy. It ain't no damn uplifting. If this how she runs her mouth with a microphone in it, what the hell do you think I think she says behind closed doors? Uplifting where? There's no man like Steph Curry that needs her to uplift him. Women gotta stop telling themselves that we not gonna be great anyway if you there. I'm already on my purpose, man. You can hit your ass to my wagon and you can come along for the ride. I'm going where I'm going. Where is it that you think I'm not going to get there because I put my penis in you? Oh, you think because I beat you down, that's the reason I'm going where I'm going? No, it ain't, ma'am. Pop, I've told you this since I was 17. I'm going to say it again. The faith that I have, it ain't in no car, in no woman. Shout out the Fiend. No Limit. The faith that I have, it ain't in no car or in no woman. It's not in material things and it's not inside of her coochie. Men like Steph Curry, men who gonna achieve things like we have done, start businesses, do whatever you do, go to school, get degrees. I didn't need her who hot for me to get there, Lord Jesus. I was going anyway.
The reality is now let's go to the other side of the coin real quick. First of all, what do we know? We know that by the age of 30, the majority of all the woman's age is actually gone. So let's just be real quick and look at it from a logical standpoint. Okay, so by the age of 30, it's like, from memory correct, it's like 80% of her age is already gone.
I thought it was 90, so you giving them an extra 10%.
I'm giving extra 10%.
So we're going to stick with your 80.
We're going to say 80. We're going to say 80.
We're going to stick with your 80.
Right, and they can go look this up.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So that means it's more difficult for you to get pregnant at that point in time, right?
And it's a higher rate of autism and special needs and the whole nine.
Absolutely correct. And
keep going.
That's my point. And so it's also at that point in time, it's also more of a health risk for you as a woman to even have a baby after those ages as well. So see, there's a reason why God has this thing set up for you to be having babies when you're young. See, that's the reason for this thing. So you can be around later on, that you can be able to live to be with her. Because a lot of y'all will end up dying trying to give birth because you decided that you wanted to wait until you was older in order to try to have babies. See, this is a biological thing that y'all keep leaving out the equation.
A quick interjection that we need to throw in for the people on the show also so they understand. Megyn Kelly said for her youngest, because of how late that she waited, that she need them to have kids quicker than sooner if they plan on her being around. This is one of the reasons why God don't ask you to chase no bullshit career. And let me say this for everybody before I shoot it back to Pops. And he know I say this off the channel, I'm gonna say it to y'all. Nobody is bigger than this fucking program.
No.
Not me, not my wife, not the kids, nobody.
No.
That means my career not first, her career not first. See, that's the thing. I'm the breadwinner in my household. We just moved to this house. I pretty much paid for it all by myself, right? So let's talk about that kind of shit. I'm still not bigger than this program.
No.
That's what a lot of women don't get.
You trying to be bigger than the program.
Even though I am the breadwinner and I paid, I'm not bigger than the program. This family is bigger than anything. Shout out to Nipsey Hussle. He always say, it's all money in.
That's right.
Nothing's bigger than the family. The problem with marriage and women today is y'all want to be the main character. You want to be bigger than the family. You want to be bigger than the program. You're not going to be ever bigger than the program. And that's how I ended on this. Ayesha Curry was 23 when she got married. That's a few years out of college. That woman hadn't did a damn thing with her life before Steph Curry, and she wouldn't have done a damn thing without Steph Curry. That's why she said she was hoping he was going to be a basketball coach so she could run around town and front like this big time businesswoman. Well, here's reality. You got all the resources in the world at your access. You still ain't done shit. Because you was never going to do shit. Let the church say amen. Keita Rose, I'm going to keep tapping your ass on this episode.
A whole bunch of shame, but I don't give a shit about shame. If you let what society says run your life, it will run you into the ground. Women are not allowed to talk about the realities of being a wife and a mother, especially a mother. When I made a video.
Oh, shit. Let me go off. You know who the fuck ain't allowed? Excuse my language on this episode, y'all. I'm a little hot right now. You know who ain't allowed to talk about the struggles is men.
No.
See, you know who ain't allowed to talk about nothing is that when you a man, everybody just expect to sponge and leech off you. That's the wife, that's the kids, that's the nieces, that's the nephews,
that's true.
That's certain brothers and certain sisters. Now, I'm going to talk this talk to somebody who done had a good year. Somebody who done got a little money, who done some things. And since I came into some money, let me tell you what I learned. Everybody got their hand out. Everybody want to borrow something, right? So when she talk about men, you know what men don't get to do? Complain about the fact that everybody just expects me to pay for everything and for them not to do a goddamn thing. As this head of the household, as the leader of the family, let me translate for motherfuckers like Keita Rose who don't quite understand. Let me talk to him from a man who's doing it right now. You know what that translates to as the leader and the man? It means everybody expects to do goddamn nothing. What they expect to do is hitch themselves to you and you do everything. They don't even want to do a little bit. See, she don't want to talk about that as modern women. This woman got maids, she got butlers, she got chauffeurs, she got nannies. Ayesha Curry still complaining. Huh? So you know who ain't allowed to complain? Steph Curry ain't allowed to get out here, Keita Rose, and complain about the fact that I'm out here paying and doing everything. She started cooking shows. I get on the show with her. I pay for the production. I'm the reason that you get the show. I'm doing everything I can to so-called make you happy about the things that you say that you don't got. And yet that still ain't enough. You still won't shut up.
Well, that's because I want the spotlight.
Huh? Because it's the main character syndrome. Because it's about her.
That's right. Because I want to be selfish. That's what
right. So when Keita Rose trying to say women can't speak about it, man, shut your punk ass up. You're lying.
Well, she just talking about just a color.
Right.
Well, once again,
so I'm gonna let you end the episode. All I wanted to say was this last part.
Mm-hmm.
Men are not allowed to talk about what it's like carrying everybody knowing there's nobody to carry you. I heard 50 Cent say it on a podcast, and he said, I ain't never been able to run home and go get nobody because all I ever had is me. Who am I running to go get? Me?
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, like I said, it's at the end of the day, we already know because we've done videos similar to this before, which actually comes down to one thing. And all that young lady is talking about is about being selfish. And all she's doing is that she's continuing to keep telling women to be selfish and not to actually think about nobody but yourself. But here's the thing, and I'm going to say this and I'm done. But here's what everybody needs to understand. There's a price that you pay for being selfish. And it doesn't matter who you are. There's a price that you pay for being selfish. I got to go with the Bible. I got to come on and let me tell y'all something. See, y'all got to remember something. Y'all say it like this. It says what goes around comes around. Well, guess what? The Bible says you reap what you sow. So what you got to realize and understand about the sowing and reaping principle is this. There's always more that comes back to you than what you actually gave out. So there's going to be consequences to your actions. And what happens is that y'all are not going to like the consequences when they come back around, because what do y'all do?
Now, hold on. Not to interrupt you, but as you say that, I need you to also touch on this as you land, because I forgot to mention it. Ma'am, your kids are going to hear you say one day that you didn't want them. Finish everything out. Because when you was talking about what's got to come back, exactly. You was talking about these repercussions. Exactly. Women are overlooking that. These 4 kids got to hear your mama say, I didn't want you. I wanted a boss girl life that was all about my sorry, bad body built, avatar looking ass.
And now guess what I just did? Because I wasn't thinking about what you said a minute ago. The program is actually bigger than everybody. But what you did was that now what's going to happen later on is that you going to get back. Now you're going to have a bunch of kids. You got kids that ain't going to want to have nothing to do with you when you later on down the road. Why? Because you got on TV in front of everybody and you told everybody, the whole entire world, that you didn't really want them. So what makes you think that they're going to want to fool with you when they get older?
Not only that.
You're going to mess around, you're going to look up, and I'm going to be gone when I'm going to say
No, I got one more thing before you're going to be gone. I got one more thing I need you to address.
You're going to find yourself, you're going to die alone.
Now, I got one more part, and I'm going to let you finish the episode. So, now, what I got to think about is the only reason you had me as a child is because my dad was Steph Curry? Because y'all met at church camp. Y'all got married 2-3 years after college. So, mama, you had been around other penises for 4 years before my dad. But here's the thing. Steph Curry first 2-3 years in college, he wasn't considered no draft pick. So, mama, did you pick my daddy strictly because he was Steph Curry? Because you said you didn't want us. So, it's the only reason you had us is because who my daddy was. Because you know what you could have did at 23? You could have kept moving on in life. Nobody forced you to marry him or have kids. So as you end it, I just want to say, I want you to just go ahead and clean it up. Now, how do I feel when I sit and think that all this resentment you got, but then why did you do it? Because my dad wasn't considered a draft pick the first 3 years of college. So that means at 23, when you wanted to spin the block, you spun the block because you seen now daddy going to the league.
Now, once they
Daddy not just going to be no basketball coach. Because remember, that's what she said on the podcast. She thought she was going to be the boss and he was going to be a basketball coach. Take us to church.
Well, and then you said it all. I mean, because at the end of the day, what do you got? What you got, once again, what you got coming back to you is that everything that you just said. So here's what happens. So then later on, you're going to mess around and you're going to have some kids now that ain't going to want to have anything to do with you.
No.
So grandmama ain't going to be grandmama because the kids don't want to have anything to do with you. So now the kids turn around. Here's the time out when you read what you're showing. So now her kids tell their kids, well, the reason why we don't fool with your grandmama is because she never wanted us. So now,
come on now.
Think about that. So think about what her grandkids get to hear later on is that the reason why we don't fool with your grandmama.
And you said it because it's on the internet.
That's right. Reason we don't fool with your grandmama is because we come to realize she never really wanted us to be in this world in the beginning.
And you said that in with a microphone in front of your face that we can pull up any day for these grandkids. Ayesha Curtis, that's what you said.
And so now
you said you didn't want my great grandfather. My grandfather's great as a great man.
That's right.
You said that's not what you wanted.
And
you basically wanted to be ran through and screwed over by all the futures and all the losers in the world who ain't got nothing but some D. And then you thought somehow Steph Curry was gonna be waiting for you.
That's right.
And that's what I got to hear as a grandchild.
That's right.
But you know what I don't get to hear? My grandfather out here talking about you that way.
No.
He ain't never did an interview and been on no podcast and talked about you in nothing but the most respectful, loving manner. That is what the problem is with Keita Rose and these buckethead ass women that they not understanding. Men have a problem with the fact that y'all are blatantly okay with so much damn disrespect. This is why I tell younger men don't marry these bitches today.
But notice what all comes back to you in the end. Because there's consequences to your actions. So now you find yourself alone and you realize the mistakes that you've actually made. Now when you go on vacations, your grandkids ain't going on vacation with you. Your kids ain't going on vacation with you. The things that you do now, everything that you're doing by yourself. But here's the reality. But you created that. See, that's what the young lady's not telling everybody. So there's consequences that you have to face that later on in life you ain't gonna like. You ain't gonna like.
No.
Whoop, there it is.
It's me and Pop. I would say we over on the couch. Right now we in the new kitchen. Y'all come check us out.